Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is a lesson we learn from Chronicle. Lasers, 'cause I like sci-fi. Duties, 'cause I am a rat guy. 99 is 'cause I like Wayne Gretzky. That's why I'm lazy to 99. I'm a Batman fan, and I'm a Canadian man. I do top 10 lists, and I ketchup chips. Hey everybody, welcome to another Lazy Dude 99 review. So Chronicle, this movie was weird because it hit me. I heard about it, I saw it, and then it just happened so quickly. It wasn't one of these movies I was looking forward to or really hoping for. And that I hear about it, I want to see it, I see it, and boom, it leaves a big impact on me. And it's weird that happens when you didn't even see it coming, you know. So the movie is it's one of these still camera movies, you know, where the guy is going like this the whole time, or something like that. But usually I'm not a fan of those style of movies. I'm not a fan of the just the camera style. I find it, since it's supposed to look amateurish, it does. And since it does, it doesn't. You don't even see the point. You just wonder, well, why does it look this bad? I mean, what's the point in watching a movie if the camera angles suck the whole time? But this is handled the best I have ever seen it, okay? This amateur footage thing, because it starts off, the camera's all clunky and moving a lot. But then it goes, it starts off with this boy, and he starts this obsession with filming everything. He has an obsession to film everything at all times. And And so he's just filming his daily routine, and we can see his life sucks. It's not great being him. People hit him in the hallway for no reason, just because they're jerks. His dad is an alcoholic and an abusive father. We can see all this stuff in his home life. And then these three boys, him, his cousin, and this other guy who's like the valedictorian, running for class president type guy. They're all just hanging out, and they find this in this crater, this weird glowing thing, and they find it, and something happens. All of a sudden, all three of them get telekinetic abilities, telekinesis. They can move things with their mind, and also fly. They can use it to lift themselves in the air and fly. And the most of the movie is just them going through learning these powers and wondering, wow, this is so cool. How on earth can we do these things? And it shows that if we did have superpowers, we would all take it different ways. Some of it, sometimes, especially as teenagers, we'd pull a few pranks with it. Okay, we would just be like, what you doing there on the floor? We pull a few pranks here and there, and that's what they do. They start pulling pranks and stuff, and then but the more they use the powers, the stronger they get. They start feeling stronger, and they actually feel this kind of like unexplained draw to each other. So they're hanging out. This kid, finally, our main character, he finally feels like he's starting to have friends, people that care about him and want to be with him. And he saw before that his cousin was basically ashamed to be with him. He'd drive him into school, but he'd say, you know what, you go in, I'll be in a minute. Almost to, it shows that he didn't really want to be with him, but now since they've come together through these powers and this other guy too, they become really good and close friends. The first day they fly is awesome. Awesome character development, really good special effects. And it's a really good scene. But this kid's home life keeps on interfering on his power life, and he starts, when you have the ultimate power, your moralities of right and wrong start to slide. You don't know exactly what's, my best thing is he says, I was reading up on something on the apex predator, the one that dominates all species. Like if we step on an ant, do we feel bad? No, because we're the apex predator. We're the dominant species. Maybe that's what I am. And it's a really good movie in the fact that we see this boy and his tragedy that he and his three friends go through. And it's really well done. I really like the way it's told. Once again, I didn't really see this one coming. If it was released last year, I would say this is probably the best superhero movie of the year. But that was last year. This is 2012. We're gonna have some big, heavy hitters later on, But so far, it's a really good start for the superhero movies. Chronicle, a movie no one has seen or heard about anything about it, and we get this really in-depth movie and this psyche into the minds of these three boys who just get superpowers. A couple of things, maybe a little bit complaint about it. The boys' turn from good to evil seems a little quick. I mean, the boy starts getting popular in school, and his friends loving him. Then something happens, and then his dad yells at him, and then something else happens, and before you know it, he's all brooding and evil and giving that look where he's slicing open a spider with his mind. Which is pretty creepy, let me tell you. And then the car, stuff like that's happening, and then something's gonna happen, and we know it. I like the use of the cameras, as I say, because he starts to, as I say, my main problem with films like that that use the handheld camera is that it's always shaky. It's always moving like this, and we don't get good focus, and we don't get good camera shots. And here we do, because he starts moving the camera with his mind all the time. And so we get a lot of overview shots and a lot of overflowing shots, and sometimes there'll be a moment where our character will go out of view, out of the camera's view, and it'll just switch to a security camera. And it'll go from the security camera to a different camera. It's like we're seeing this through the technological eye of the world. Anytime the characters are on a camera, we will see them. Because that's just where they are. This film is the right mixture of fun, intrigue, and tragedy. These characters starts out, the powers get fun, and then consequences start happening, and characters will make their choices on how they feel about certain things. And when you get dealing with characters with this much level of power, on this high of stakes, it will include everyone because of this power. And one minor complaint: the final fight. The bad guy, the kid's he's in a hospital outfit. I'm just thinking, he doesn't look menacing. I don't feel like I'm partially afraid of this guy because he's in stinking his butt cracks hanging out the back of his uniform. His whatever they're called, the medical scrubs, whatever. It just doesn't look. I liked just him in the hoodie. Just a regular hoodie. That, I think, it would have made it a more interesting fight. Or at the very least, he would have felt more threatening. But besides that, there's not much else to complain about it. It's really fun. It's really it's in depth, and it takes the superhero story and changes it so it's not the same thing we've seen 100 times. And people have been saying, here, we're doing a superhero film but realistic. And many films have their different takes on what that is. Kick-Ass, they say their film is realistic, but it's realistic more in the the violence and what that type of fight and crime would look like. But its world is kind of a little bit cartoony. You know what I mean? These guys definitely live in the real world. And there's some fantastic elements to it. These guys don't know how they got these powers. Most of us, if we got superpowers of this nature, we wouldn't know where they came from either. So it's a very real take on the superhero movie, but it's more than just superhero movie, because for one thing, they never say, not once throughout the entire film, the word superhero. These are just guys that if they got powers, they're messing around. But escalation, they will escalate to different extremes, and that's what the story is about. So I'm going to give Chronicle an 8.5 out of 10. It was very fun, very entertaining. I really enjoyed it. Check it out, guys. I think it's really worth your while, and I think you'll really like it. It's the best. If you don't like the handheld camera, don't worry. They handle it better than I've ever seen. So yeah, remember, guys, I'm LazyDude99, and if I don't like it, it's not worth it. See you around. Be sure to check out more of my other videos on my channel, and wait for more coming soon.